Hello crafty budgeters and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany. On this channel, we are working to craft a budget and a lifestyle to become debt free. Happy October! It is fall and I am not really a fall girly. I don't really like the in-between weather of do I wear a jacket or not? What type of shoes should I wear? But it is what it is. The month is upon us and we are making sure we're ready to go for our budget. And y'all, I haven't done a budget with me in a long time and setting off a budget. So I'm really excited. Y'all would have thought that this was my first time ever doing a budget. The past couple of nights I've gone through, I did a pseudo one in another book, and I want to make sure that it was great for y'all. I don't know why, y'all. This is I'm coming back, a rebirth. But yeah, I'm really excited to get things going. Y'all know I've started on if you don't know, now you know, I'm about to tell you, a 100-day reset that I started almost a month ago, September 5th. And it's been amazing. So I'll be doing a video all about the first month and how it's gone, but it's just resetting my life, both personally, financially, spiritually, all of the things. And what better way to kick off the month is setting up the October budget. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm really excited because it's just been a minute since I've been able to do it. And I'll kind of do a little talk with me. Is that what you call it? Sharing some updates and things as I go along. But yeah, I'm really excited. So if you are not a part of the Crafty Budgeter fam, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We have fun over here. If you like these types of videos along the lines of budgeting, getting your life together, paying off debt, all of those things, that's another reason why you should join the fam as well. But I'm excited to get started and we ain't gonna take any longer. Let's go. I'm using the Elevated Life Co. budget book. I don't even know if we have more books together and we're ending the year. So I think there's people that are still buying books, which is awesome. It's undated. So if you want it, you can use it for next year as well. But can we just read this quote? The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who is going to stop me. Wait a minute. Who gonna check me, boo? Any real housewives? Anyway, so we're going to set up the book and I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer. You know I do that every time. And we're gonna get ready to go. Let me move some stuff around. All right, so let me fill out just the days of the week and the numbers and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now all of the numbers are filled out in the days of the week. I want to share just my process of how I do my setting up the monthly budget and from start to finish. So before I do anything, I always start with my 2-page calendar spread. It's a great way for me to mark down, list all of the bills, all of the expenses that I know will be coming out throughout the month, and it just gives me a good visual representation. When I did not do this and I didn't know when things were coming out, there would be expenses and bills coming out of my checking account that I didn't account for, and I just didn't have a better understanding of my money, and that's where we got to be. I just need to know where all my money is going, and so writing it down, seeing it on the calendar really helps. Another thing that I do is that whenever I get paid, and my husband get paid on Fridays, and so what I'll do is for example, on the 6th, I'll look to see all of the bills that will be coming out until the 13th, and I will pay them if they're not on auto pay. And this is again to help me that no bill is going unpaid. I won't be getting any conversations, calls, chats, emails saying things aren't paid because I know what's coming out. And to help me really understand where all of my bills lie and what days they fall on, usually what days they come out, what I did, and this is just to reset me again. I've been budgeting, but not as in-depth as I normally do. And to get myself back on track, and what I recommend that you do is really track your expenses, looking at your bank statements to see all of the bills, expenses, monies that come out throughout the month, and being able to make sure that you know when that happened. So I color coded them related to my variable expenses, which we'll talk a little bit about, and related to the bills. And it just helps me to visualize, okay, first, what things are coming out and when, but also, girl, you need to cut back. In the month of September, we spent way too much money on groceries and eating out and fast food. Like, there's no reason why. My husband and I, we do have 2 kids. If you did not know, we have 2 boys. One's only 5 months and one is turning 5 in January. That's the most pickiest eater other than snacks. But there's no reason why we should have spent that much money on just food in a month. And so, again, a good reason why you want to look at your past expenses is to really get yourself in check, to be like, listen here, next month we can't be doing none of that, because it's just eating up the budget when that money could go to someplace else, like paying off debt, emergency fund, savings, the things that you want. So that is the first thing that I did before I even started figuring out where everything falls, is I tracked my expenses. I downloaded or looked at my phone bank statement and wrote everything out, color coordinated it out, and got it together there. So now we're going to, and I'm going to turn a little bit just because it's easier for me to write. Now we're going to write down all of the bills. So after I've tracked my expenses and looked at my bank statements, I've indicated, which I already knew most of it, but some of the things were changed in there and some of the things were added. So I wanted to make sure I counted for everything. And let me just preface this, and I should have said this earlier, that this video might be a little bit longer just because I'm going to chat you through a lot of different things. And it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. If not, oh well. All right. So typically I write everything out and then I just like move on to the next thing. But I'm actually going to walk through each day with you just to give you an idea and to show you in real time what that actually looks like based off of my bills. So Sunday, the first of the month, our mortgage always comes out. I do not share what our mortgage amount is or our ties. Those are just 2 things that we like to keep to ourselves. Listen, I share a lot on this channel, and those are 2 things that my husband and I agreed on that like we would keep private. And it has worked for the past couple of years. So, but I know that the mortgage comes out there, and I'll put the date on there. An Apple expense comes out. And, you know, when I did this, looking at my bank statement, I noticed that we have so many Apple charges. At least 6 or 7 times Apple takes money out of our account. And I'm like, what in the heck? Some of them I knew, but some of them I didn't know. And I had to like talk to Mr. Crafty Budget and be like, where in the world? Go to your subscriptions on your phone if you don't know how to do that. If you have an Apple iPhone, you can go onto the general and under subscriptions, and you can see all the subscriptions that you have, but your Apple expenses come out there. And again, some of them I know and some of them I don't. And it was really bothering me that I didn't know all of them. But I think I now figured it out. So the first of the month, 1801 comes out, and that's for our Apple Music. The second of the month, we have another Apple charge. See, I'm telling you, it's like literally every week Apple is getting money from us for $12.71. And that, oh, let me bring you a little closer. Sorry, y'all. $12.71. And that is for Canva. And then on the second, well, it's not R because I don't go there, but our gym membership is $34.95. My husband goes to the gym, and y'all, I have been with my reset on a fitness journey, and I'm going to be doing a whole like 30 days into my 100-day reset video that'll come out this week. Y'all don't miss that video. I got some amazing things to share, not just regarding my like health and fitness, but just like some of the other things that I've been doing, and it's just been awesome. All right, so that's on the second. The third I have, and this is new, y'all, and I'm going to be doing a whole video about it, but your girl's getting Invisalign. And yeah, again, I'll do a whole video about the reasons why I'm doing Invisalign, how much it costs, the whole steps of that. But Invisalign will be a new expense, and that should be around $310 a month. All right, so nothing for the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then on the 7th, our phone and internet comes out, and that's $195.60. All right, the 8th, another Apple charge is coming out. See, listen, I'm not joking. It is literally and some of you are like, oh, well, Brittany, can you take away some of them? Probably. Probably. This is our Disney Plus, which we don't really use that often, or at least I don't use it, but you guys, I do have 2 little boys and we do use it sometimes, so I should probably keep it. All right, so the 9th is our car payment, and don't gasp when you see the number. I know it's just, it is what it is. This is the only car payment we have because my car's paid off. We do have like a beater car. Is that what you call them? One of those like, whatever. It's like runaround cars that's also paid off. It was my grandmother's that my husband uses to take to work because it saves us on some gas. But this is our only car expense, but it's a pretty penny. And then we have a car wash membership. Again, this is for my husband. This is something that he enjoys. I could care less about my car being washed, but he goes multiple times a week and is kind of obsessed, and so this brings him joy, so we're keeping it in the budget. The next thing is, again, Apple. See, every time it's just gonna get me, and for $2.99, and I think this is probably for like iCloud storage or something. And then the big daddy for what's coming up this month, which is just gonna piss me off, but it is what it is. Student loan. Student loan payment is starting back up, and I'm saying it that slow because it just is going to irk my soul until it's paid off. So $394.14. If this is your first video watching me, we started off with our debt-free journey with $175,000 worth of debt, and most of it was between my husband and I's student loans, my undergraduate and graduate student loans, my husband's undergraduate, paid off my one, and my husband got the public student loan forgiveness for his, which was awesome, which was like $20,000, which is amazing. We paid off I think it was around like $20,000 one, and then the last one is $69,000. And it's just, I've been in public service for a minute, and I just want them to say that it's forgiven. And that's going to be my prayer, is that it's just going to be forgiven. If you don't agree with student loans being forgiven, stay over there. Don't even come into the comments. But I would like my student loans to be forgiven. But until that time, it started back up. October is here. Here are the student loans. And yeah, it is what it is. So security, and I'm gonna do a whole video about like student loans, and then a whole video on my updated debt. So a lot of videos coming out this month, so you don't want to miss it, because again, I'm getting back into the swing of things, and it's just bringing me so much joy. I'm so excited that I get to do it with you. So our security is on a monthly basis. We have like a membership with them. Our Hulu, which again, I don't really watch. And so I gotta ask my husband, it's like, are you watching it more than like 5 times a month? Because if not, it's about to be shut off. And I think that's where you got to be, like, really assessing, come on now, is it really worth it? And $15 isn't a lot, but if $15 adds up, and $15 could go somewhere else. So we'll see. Now, this is an expense that I have no idea what it's from, but it has come up on my bill and on my statement for the past couple of months. It must have to do with my husband, and I just forgot to ask him. So, but I'm putting it on there, $15.90. And then our electric bill, that is, for this month, I already went in, $204.21. And then our Netflix, which I do use. Any Netflix fan in the room? Right now I'm watching Love is Blind and The Ultimatum. Let me know in the comments. Are you watching any of those? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Ultimatum, I don't know. This season was okay. I'm kind of done with these seasons. Like, I think we've reached to a point where we can just be done with each of them. The first season of Love is Blind is always going to be my favorite. Ultimatum, I think that first season was going to be my favorite too. Like, we might just need to be calling it quits. That's also how I feel about Dancing with the Stars and American Idol. Now, sorry if you're huge fans, but we're on season 100, just like The Bachelor. Enough. We get it. Okay, rant over. Netflix is $16.09. it's 42, but I'm not changing it. Our car insurance is $168.26. All right, so now my son's daycare comes out once a month. Another new thing that has changed in the life of the Crafty Budgeter is that we took our son and moved him to a different daycare and different school. It's actually a school, and so they only do once a month. Well, I guess the other one did once a month payments too. I just paid on a weekly basis, but pre-K, my son's in pre-K. Oh gosh, don't cry over here. $650 a month, which isn't bad. For me, at least I don't think it is. It's a lot cheaper than what we were paying for. We do pay for aftercare too, which that's going to be added in here one of the days, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not going to add it on there. We do have a Peloton. We actually have the tread and the bike, and we pay on both of those, so I wish, $65.50. I think that's for the membership. Who knows? All right, another Apple expense, and my husband and I both pay for iCloud storage, so, and another one on this day. See, it's becoming a little much. And I might need to call Apple to be like, what in the heck is going on? And then one other Peloton expense, 64. All right. Then we move on to, we do have YouTube TV because we got rid of cable this year, which was literally the best decision that we could have made last year. I don't know why I was stuck on cable for so long, but everything I want or need, I can get right on a YouTube TV. Like and it saves us so much money. All right, and then for my like P.O. box address kind of thing, it is, let me just put this here, $9.90. What does that say? 99 cents. We're almost done. Almost. They got a lot of other things. So another thing that is new to the budget of the Crafty Budgeter, which I'll have to do a whole other video on, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments on, is that we are doing some home renovations, and we took out a loan for it. And yeah, it is what it is. Things had to get done, and we'll talk about it in full detail. I know my girl Rochelle Adamson Budgets talks about her HELOC journey and everything, but yep, we took out some money and we got to pay it back, and yep, it is what it is. And you know what, again, we'll do a whole video on it because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions. Life insurance that is needed, $154.49. I do have I'm a big reader and I like to listen to books. And so my husband has his gym and car wash memberships, and I have like reading memberships. So I use Scribed. If you don't know about Scribed, it's really good. I like it more than like Audible or whatever, because I think Audible you have like points or something. I don't know. It just didn't work out for me, and I learned about Scribe and I really like it. So that's that. We have Epidemic, which is like the music that you hear on my YouTube, which I haven't changed in a while, so maybe I need to do a little refresh. And then last but not least is my Kindle. For Mother's Day, my husband gave it to me, but your girl pretty much treated herself to a Kindle because, like I said, I am a reader and I like to read. And so I got a Kindle and I love it. And yeah. So these are all of the expenses for the month of October. Now, what I'll do is throughout the month, I will then, for my variable expenses like groceries, gas, miscellaneous, personal, entertainment, all of those other things, I'll put them into this calendar so I can track it pretty much the same as what like a bank statement looks like, but it's the visual view, and I will color code it. But for right now, I'm going to color code in. This has been the color that I've done for bills since the very beginning, probably since 2020. I'm just going to go in and color code all of these bills so that way I know what the category is. And again, throughout the month, every week, I will go in and start tracking my expenses, and depending on what the expense is or the purchase is, it'll get a different color highlighter. And those are the categories. So for me, most of the time, categories are bills, groceries, gas, personal, eating out. And then I actually added a different category, which you'll see in a second when we do the actual full budget breakdown. I've added a different category because I think it'll just help me out a little bit better. So this is the calendar spread, and now we're going to move on to our monthly budget. I'll do this financial overview section in a little bit, but I really want, because of the timing, I want to just get us deep into setting up the budget. And what I always say, if you've been around for a minute on this channel, is that a budget is a plan for your money. Now, sometimes the plan stays, right? And all the numbers make sense and all the numbers work out, and sometimes it doesn't. So you might have additional income, you might have some variable expenses or expenses that you didn't think were coming out that you didn't necessarily account for. This is just the plan for the month of October for the money that I know will be hitting and the money that I know will need to be coming out for my variable expenses. All right, does that make sense? So I'm going to walk you through how I do my monthly budget setup, and it's pretty much the same of how I do my paycheck budget as well, but we'll start with the monthly budget. So you'll see on this sheet that there's income, budgeted, actual, and then where was it at the end of the month? Were you over or under? For income, if you're doing a budget, and this is your first time doing budget, you would put your own specific incomes in there, depending on your full-time job, part-time job, side hustles, the money that you know that is coming in no matter what for that month, you'll put under income. For me on this channel, we actually don't share our full income, and because we also don't share our mortgage and our tithes, what I do is I just do a starting balance. So based on the starting balance, I take what I know we're going to get monthly for both of our incomes. I subtract the mortgage and I subtract how much we're putting into tithes, and that is what the starting balance for my income is. So that is why you will see it this way and not like it says my budget, my husband budget, any like side income and things along those lines. That's why you see it this way. So after all of those things are accounted for, our starting budget is that's not what it is, $6,843.99. And then down here, you'll see it's the same thing, right? That's the total. Now, at the end of the month, when I go through and do my paycheck budgets, I'll actually go through and figure out, okay, my starting balance, because what I thought was going to be this, did I get more than that? Because this is the base. No matter what, we should be getting around this for our starting balance. But if there's overtime, if there's additional income, and there are other things that are going in there, this might change, which we want to change because then the more money gives us allow us to do more things with our budget. All right, so then the next thing I do is look at the fixed expenses and the variable expenses. So the fixed expenses are all of those bills that we just put into the calendar. And because I have a lot more bill names and spaces, I've kind of clumped them together for the monthly budget. But then when I do the paycheck budgets over here, I actually write, well, you can't see it, but over here, I actually write it down. So for the fixed expenses, I'll write it down first and then we'll talk about it because I literally just went through all of the different things, but the main thing I want to talk about is the variable expenses. Okay, so let me bring you in a little bit closer. Okay, so I just want to talk through a couple of things, but first of all, you'll probably notice that you're like, Brittany, you said daycare is $650. I already added in what the aftercare amount is. I just don't have it on my calendar because I don't know the day that it's coming out. So as soon as I figure out, it's like 2 separate payments because it's under the same school, but it's like 2 separate payments. So total, it is $1,000.10. The Apple, you see this? $61 to Apple. What in the world? The other thing that I wanted to talk about is utilities. The only thing I didn't have on the calendar that I still need to add is our oil. So if you've been around for a minute, you know that we have oil heat, and throughout last year, starting in like November all the way until probably about March, we were paying almost like $750 to $800 a month on oil, which is crazy just because the oil prices are so high. And so we're now on a budget plan where we pay per month, which is, it comes out to be so much cheaper. It's about $188 per month. So I've already included that in under the utilities with like the electric and stuff, but I just haven't put it on the calendar until I figure out the day that it's actually going to be coming out. And then I think those are all the other things. So what I did is added up all of these budgeted amounts, which most of them are going to be the actual, and then it comes to $4,401.88. I subtract that from the starting balance, and that gives us $2,442.11 to work with for the variable expenses, and then what we are determining for the plan. So the next thing is the variable expenses. And like I said, most of the time it stays the same. I just added a different category because I wanted to separate things out. And the way that I've determined what variable expenses are is like, these are the expenses that I have a little bit of wiggle room to like move money around, don't put as much money to. There's no one going to be calling me to let me know that like I didn't pay a payment or something's going to be shut off. These are those like, variable expenses that per month I still need, but there's a little bit of wiggle room in the money category that I can kind of change things around. So the categories that I have are groceries, which is needed. I gotta eat. Gas, needed. I gotta get around. Eating out, it's not needed, but it's necessary, I think, just for our lives. Personal, so some personal money to get the personal things that we want. Miscellaneous, still having a category just for those like random miscellaneous charges that you know always hits the account that you're like, I didn't even know this was coming out, or where did this come from? Having a category to kind of help cover that. The new category that I added was household. So most of the time I would consider household in with groceries, but I really want to see how much money we actually spend on just like food, and then how much money we actually spend on household stuff like toilet paper, paper towels, tissue, cleaning supplies, and things along those lines. And then that way I can kind of see throughout the month where I am at and make necessary changes if needed. So, and then a buffer. So it's always good. I always leave a little bit of money in the account that like kind of like miscellaneous, but like it's always good to have a little bit of money in there. We are and I should have said this from the beginning, we are a zero-based budget family. And so every dollar has a place to go in our budget. That's the idea. And so this buffer really helps for those like, again, random things, which I guess I could have been just kept it under miscellaneous because I didn't need it that way, but whatever. So $600 for that we're doing for budgeted. And I know why I did the miscellaneous, because these categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are our cash envelopes. So this is the money that I'll take out. And then throughout the month, every week, I'll take out money to go towards these categories. So gas, which come on, gas is so expensive. Like it's ridiculous. $300 for eating out. Personal is getting $400. Miscellaneous, $200. Household is getting $200 for the month, and then buffer in the account is $150. So adding all of those up, can you see? Good. Is $2,250. So I take that from the $2,442.11, and that leaves us with $192. Not a lot of money left. Not a lot of money left. Yes, and that is because we've added some expenses into our budget, and so hopefully we have additional money so we can go put more towards these plans of debt and savings. So the first thing that I really want to get better at, well, it's not even get better at, is to refocus on is our emergency fund. Right now it is not good. It is almost non-existent. So yeah, so $100 is going to go to the emergency fund, and then debt snowball. So we're paying all the minimum payments for our debt right now, and then anything on top of that is additional, and all of the money right now, rest of the money is going to go towards that. Now, there will be a savings one. So right now, nothing can go to savings. There's zero in savings. The hope is that if we have more money that we get throughout the month, like overtime or additional payments, whatever, I mean, not additional payments, additional funds, it will go to our savings. It'll go, well, maybe we can put a little bit more to emergency fund and debt, but most of it will go into our savings, and those are our cash envelopes, like our sinking funds. So add all of that up, and it's $192.11. So that's not what it is. It's zero. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Hold on. I'm like, wait a minute. That don't look right. The total is $192.11, and the remaining balance is zero. So zero for that. And again, at the end of the month, what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll look at all of our paychecks throughout each week. We'll add in all of these actual numbers and to see where we fall on our budget. Did we stay within budget? Did we go under budget? Like, where are we with the money that we have? So this is the October budget, y'all. This is where we're at. I'll take out some of the money for the per week for these variable expenses, but that's the plan. It's pretty simple. I try to make it as easy as possible, but the goal is to have a plan for your money and know where your money is going. And once I started budgeting this way and knowing where that money was going, it just helped in so many ways. And so I'm going to bring you along for the ride. The first paycheck budget, that will be next week. So the first paycheck of October, we'll do that next weekend. So I'll come back probably on Friday to do that video. We'll do our first paycheck denomination for our cash envelopes. We'll do that together. And yeah, we're just going to get things started. And I'm really excited that I'm able to share my journey with y'all. Let me know, do you have any things different or changes that you do to your budget that I do differently? And then, yeah, that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and comment. I love just hearing your thoughts. I do try to respond back to your comments as much as I can. Subscribe to the Crafty Budgeter fam. We have fun over here, y'all. It's going to be a great October. I'm expecting great things for myself as well as I'm expecting great things for you. Have a great rest of your day. See ya. Bye-bye.